Okay, so here we are in our week on chain 39 dashboard. And as I said at the start, we are going to begin with the mempool. Now, it's really important to remember that there is no single mempool in Bitcoin. The mempool is individual to each node, and each node has a particular set of rules. Now, this is the Glassnode mempool, and we have the default 300 megabytes total size. There are other mempools out there and other mempool explorers that will have a much larger to capture more data. In our instance, we're essentially capturing what is the default mempool going to see. Now, there's another important thing to start off with. This first metric up the top here is the total size of transactions. So this is that data footprint. When I talk about the word size in this session, think bytes. How many bytes of data are we talking about? And why this is important, inscriptions really came into they were kind of started in February, and this is when it was mostly, this is wave one, and it was mostly images, files, sound files, mostly it was images, kind of that first emergence of ordinals and NFTs on Bitcoin. Now, as we came into May, that actually changed. That footprint has largely become text-based inscriptions. We're going to explore this in a lot more detail. But what you'll see is that note that the data footprint, our mempool was full from a data perspective, arguably with one kind of clearing moment, but our mempool has essentially been full from a data perspective since February. There has been enough data in there, but remember that images are a larger file size to text. So if we now look at this, is the same mempool, but it's looking at it in terms of the number of transactions. So just for easy kind of computation here, we have a fixed 300 megabyte mempool. Now, if you have a bunch of image files which are large, a couple of hundred kilobytes, those image files are going to be less. You're going to have less of them to fill up that same 300 megabytes. Now, what you can see is that in April and May, this is when text-based inscriptions and these BRC20 token things showed up. In May, note that the transactions, we had a full mempool from February in terms of data, but it really filled up in terms of transactions from May onwards, and it's essentially been full ever since. So what this is telling us is that there are more transactions per byte available in the mempool at the current moment. And it really tells you that since May, there's been a dominance of very small transactions all packing into that 300 megabytes.